Today I'm going to show you how to fix your stiff neck. What's going on, everybody? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of release techniques that you can use to basically loosen up your neck and restore some mobility in there. So a couple ways that people realize that they have a stiff neck is because they're lacking range of motion, whether it's forward flexion like this. They can't like bring their chin down to their chest. They can't laterally flex like this without feeling a lot of tension on the side that they're bending away from, restricting their ability to actually bend their head that way. Or cervical rotation, being able to look over your shoulder. Okay, those are all examples of times when people might realize that their neck is stiff, if they're lacking range of motion there. And if this is not caused by some sort of structural abnormality in your cervical spine, like scoliosis or some sort of spinal deformity, then chances are likely that it's caused by muscular imbalances and tightness in the neck. So that's what we're going to be addressing today. What you're going to need for this is a ball or two balls, preferably, that are approximately the size of a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. A lacrosse ball or a tennis ball will work for this. I would recommend that you get these balls. These are actually called yoga tune-up balls. And the only reason why I like these over something like a tennis ball is because they're grippy. The materials that this ball is made out of is really, really grippy. As the owner of the company says, it's kind of like a cat's tongue. So that's going to come in handy when we're using it on the neck here, because it'll actually grab the skin and all the fascia there and kind of wind it up, which will help to stretch it. So when it comes to having a tight neck, one of the major and most commonly dysfunctional muscles that contributes to it are tight upper traps, okay, upper trapezius, right on top of your shoulder here. Most people know that these muscles are right here on top of their shoulder, but they don't know that they actually also run up here and attach directly onto the cervical spine. So if your upper traps are tight because you have secondary breathing patterns, I made a video a really long time ago about that. If you haven't seen it, you can go ahead and check that out over here or in the description down below. If you're breathing wrong and you're using your upper traps to help with that, or if you're just really, really stressed and you're at work and you feel your shoulders like shrugging up towards your ears because you're very stressed, the upper traps tend to respond to stress adversely by tightening up. If you're in either of those two situations, you're breathing wrong or you're chronically stressed, the upper traps can become tight and limit the range of motion in your neck. So what we're going to do with these first is address the upper traps. Now, I should have said you could use the Theracane to get into the traps the same way, but if you don't have the Theracane, you have like two lacrosse balls or two tennis balls or yoga tune-up balls, you can use these as well to release those upper traps. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take the two balls, okay? You're going to put them right on top of your upper traps here, okay? Keep them on top of there, lean back, position them so that your upper traps are on top of the balls, and then you're going to lift your hips up, putting pressure into the balls with your upper traps. Okay, you should feel this in your traps. You might have to reposition yourself because you might be on your shoulder blade, the spine of the scapula or something like that. Readjust yourself and so that you make sure that you're on the upper traps. Lift the hips up so that even more weight transfers onto the balls, and then pump your arms overhead like this. Okay? This is going to contract and relax those muscles, which is going to give you even more relief. Okay? For that, you might have to do that for like a couple minutes depending on how tight your traps actually are. Alright, the second thing we're going to do with these are smash into all of the lateral side neck muscles. Okay, you don't need to know the anatomy of the neck and the muscles in it. Just know that some of the muscles that we're addressing here are the scalenes, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the levator scapula, which kind of like runs underneath the traps. But essentially what you're going to do is this. You're going to take your ball. A tennis ball won't work for this. A lacrosse ball will. No, a tennis ball will work for this. It won't work for the next technique I will show you right after. But what you're going to do with this is a technique called stripping. It's a massage technique where you just basically run up and down the length of the muscle. And for the most part, these muscles like attach up here in this area and then run either down like that or down like this. Okay, so by starting up here behind the ear, putting gentle pressure into it, and rolling down the neck here, this is a good way to start to release those muscles, okay? So you're just kind of smashing into here like this, running the length of those muscles on the side of your neck, okay? That's one way to do it. And really, if you have trouble rotating, check the muscles on the side that you're trying to rotate towards, because those are usually the restrictive ones. So for example, if you're trying to rotate your head to the left, but you can rotate your head really far to the right, but you kind of get stuck right here on the left, look for tightness on the left side there, okay? Do a test and a retest, as Kelly Starrett says, meaning before you address those muscles, turn your head, see how far you can go, and then really get in there and do that stripping technique that I told you about. Do that for about 30 seconds and then retest. You should have more range of motion. If that doesn't work, you can get a little bit more aggressive, and that's where the texture of this ball really comes in handy, the grippiness of it. But what you can do is you basically are going to bend your head, okay? You're going to take, and what you're doing by bending your head is you're giving all those muscles slack. It's like you're feeding rope to something, okay? Instead of being pulled taut, like it would be if you're bending away from it, by bending towards it, you give it slack, okay? And what you're going to do with the ball is put it in the side of the neck again, twist it while your head is bending towards it, which pulls up all that slack, and then you tilt your head away while keeping the ball twisted in the muscles in the fascia in there, okay? This will not feel good for a lot of people. Don't use a lot of pressure. The twisting is the most important thing. I don't know if you can see this, but you want the skin and all the fascia in here to get twisted up with the ball and then bend away from it. You can do that for about 5 times on each side. Your neck might get a little red and irritated, but it's all very superficial, and you're not really gonna be worried about damaging any structures, because they'll be fine in a couple minutes afterwards. But yeah, give that a shot and let me know how that goes for you. Neck mobility is really important, guys. You want to be able to move your head in all ranges of motion, which is why I made this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and do that right over here. Also, follow me on Instagram and like me on Facebook. I'll include links to both of those things in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you next time.